guys, Ranger Rob here, and we are back on a sterile island. This time, what are we looking for?
Snakes.
Snakes, and this is my friend. She is now a junior ranger, Jayden.
Hi.
And Jayden and I are going to be looking for snakes today. Are they one of your favorite animals?
Yeah.
Why do you like snakes so much?
Because they're nice and chill.
They're nice and chill, and they really are. There's so many misconceptions about snakes out there that Jayden and I are going to try to teach you guys why you shouldn't be afraid of them. There's a whole list of snakes that you want to be aware of and learn about, right? But are any of them going to hurt you if you don't bother them?
No.
No, they don't want to hurt you. Do snakes eat people?
No.
Nope, they don't eat people at all. So we're going to go try to find some snakes, and we'll see what we can learn today. All right, sound good?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Those are the sea grapes. Remember the sea grapes here? Is she okay to eat it? Try to sea
Yeah,
grape?
yeah.
Here, try one of these.
Oh, wasn't it?
Yep. There's a big seed in the middle, so watch your teeth. Really tasty, huh? Now, do snakes like living in trees? So some snakes do like being in trees. They're called arboreal snakes. And you can actually tell if snakes spend most of their time in the trees by the shape of their body. If they have more of a triangle-shaped body, looking at them long ways, they probably spend a lot of time in trees. But if they're rounder, they're probably going to spend more time on the ground. So we're going to look in the trees. We're even going to look down on the ground because the snakes are coming out. Why would the snakes come out here? It's more towards the evening. Why would they come out here in the sun right now? It's hot, and the snakes are warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
Cool.
Cold-blooded. That means they cannot regulate their own body temperature. So we're going to try to find the snakes while they're warming up for the night. Cool. So they like hiding under all kinds of different stuff, huh?
Any poison snakes?
Are there any poisonous snakes? That's such a good question. So snakes are not poisonous. Okay, there aren't any poisonous snakes anywhere in the whole world. But there are venomous snakes. Do you know the difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
And if them have a fang, them will.
Nope, you're right. You're 100% right. She's saying if they have fangs or a stinger, that has to be injected into the body. That's what?
Venom.
Venom. And if it's something like a frog, like a poison arrow frog, or even like chemicals under your sink, if you just touch those things, they won't hurt you. But if you put them in your mouth, are they going to hurt you?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. If you put those things in your mouth, then it'll hurt you because
Jayden, look up.
poison is something that you put in your mouth, and venom is something that is injected into your body. Yeah, very cool. You got it. Should we keep looking? All right. Now there are 7 venomous snakes around this area. I'm hoping we don't find any. They're very rare around populated areas, but it doesn't mean they can't be here. So we're still being very careful when we are looking for those animals because they're not a danger to people unless people are going into their area and disturbing them or looking for them, you know? But that's when you got to be careful and know what you're doing, right? All right.
Okay, go ahead, Jay. Look. Look for the snakes.
There's a lizard jumping. You see him? Those are brown anoles. So Jayden just found this shell. So we're always talking about shells that we're finding on the beach, but there are animals like snails that live on the land. And just like we talked about before in other videos, whenever you see this spiral, that swirl, that is from a snail, and we have land snails here in Florida. And this one is not alive anymore. It's starting to turn white. You see that? So he is not around anymore, but hopefully there are others around. These are really good to have just because they're a natural part of the ecosystem. But there are African giant snails that are around now, and they get over 6 inches long, and they're massive. And they're kind of taken over for these littler snails. So it's good when we find these alive, but usually I only find them after it rains. They like coming out and getting a drink. Yeah, good find.
The golden and the flake of that.
Really? What kind are those?
Green python.
Green pythons. Very cool. So Jayden's been telling me all about the different colors that snakes come in. So we got a green python. What are some other colors you've seen?
Like loud ones.
Yeah?
Then like white and
So a whole bunch of different kinds of browns, a whole bunch of different kinds of greens. I've seen snakes that, you know what a coral snake is? So coral snakes are a venomous snake that lives around here, and some types of coral snakes have a red ring, and then a black ring, and then a yellow ring, and then a red ring, okay? And there's a rhyme that says, red on yellow, you're a dead fellow. So that means if the red and yellow touch each other, that kind of snake is venomous. But there's another kind of snake called a king snake. And king snakes have something called mimicry, where they're trying to look like that venomous snake. But they don't have red touching yellow, they have yellow touching black. And maybe they don't have yellow at all. So there's different kinds. I have a king snake, maybe I should bring him to show you. And my king snake doesn't have stripes at all. He's not trying to do mimicry for a coral snake. He's trying to mimic a rattlesnake with his colors, and he even shakes his tail like a rattlesnake. Maybe we should bring him and talk about them too. But there's so many different kinds of snakes. And again, none of them are dangerous unless you are intentionally getting close to them, or if you're in an area with that snakes are plentiful and you're not doing the right thing to be safe. So any other, oh bless you, any other colors you can think of? Pink and blue snakes, that sounds beautiful. There's iridescent color snakes where when the sun hits them they change colors. I've even seen albino snakes that are like white. That's pretty cool with the red eyes. Those are very cool. Albino is when the animals don't have color pigment, so they're just white, and the red eyes come from seeing, do you know what? The blood inside the animal's body, it reflects through the eyes. All right, well, you know what? Let's meet tomorrow, and I'll bring my king snake, and we can talk about him tomorrow. Maybe some specific things about him. Sound good? All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good day again. I'm glad you came out to be with me. How are you doing?
good.
Good. So I brought my snake Flynn, who is a desert king snake. Now we do have king snakes here in Florida, but they're a little different than Flynn. Flynn's from the desert, like way out west where it's real dry, and they don't have coral snakes. But king snakes around here do the mimicry we talked about yesterday, where they try to look like coral snakes. Some of them, they're pretty much just rat snakes though. They eat rats and mice and little lizards. But this snake here, like we said yesterday, they all eat meat, and he eats little mice because this snake is a pet. So he's not going to be getting any kind of live animals or anything to eat. Another cool thing about king snakes, whenever you see king in the name of a snake, like a king cobra or just a regular king snake, it usually means they eat other snakes. And in the wild, he's not just going to eat rodents and little lizards, he's going to eat rattlesnakes and things like that. And he could get bit by a rattlesnake, which is venomous, and it wouldn't hurt him. He's okay with it. So what do you have here?
Him shed.
So show everybody what it is. So why do they shed their skin like that? What does it do?
It helps them skin get nice and shiny.
So after they shed, they're super shiny. And I was actually supposed to bring Flynn yesterday to film with us, but he had to shed his skin. And when they shed their skin, it's one big piece, even over their eyes. So even on top of their eyeball, there's a scale that will loosen up. And when they shed that scale, can they see?
No.
No, they don't see very well when that happens. So it gets them, it's kind of dangerous to handle them when they can't see very well because they might get scared. And what happens to animals when they get scared sometimes?
Then bite.
They could bite, and we don't want that to happen. So remember we talked a little bit about Flynn, what he does when he's aggravated? He'll rattle his tail. He doesn't have a rattle like a rattlesnake, but he'll shake it against stuff, and it sounds just like a rattle. But that's why rattlesnakes have rattles. That's why cobras have hoods, because snakes do not like to bite people. Just like we said yesterday, they don't like to bite. They'll do anything they can before they have to bite. But anything with a mouth can bite. Now, what's he doing with his tongue?
Him sensing food.
He's smelling. He's smelling for food. They have two little forks on the end of their tongue. That way, if they smell food more on one side than the other, it kind of tells them which way to go. It's like a compass. And they can follow their food that way. So they smell with their tongue. But he still has a nose. What do you think he does with his nose if he smells with his tongue?
He breathes with his nose.
Like humans.
Just like humans do, yeah. Do you have anything else you want to talk about Flynn with?
I like his eyes.
Aren't they beautiful? You want to pat him? He's super cool. Now, do you know how to pat a snake? You did it just right just then.
You just hold him nice and soft.
Nice and soft, and you always want to pat them away from their head because they have scales that if you go the other way towards their head, it might pick a scale up and it would be like pulling your hair. It wouldn't feel very good. So you always pat reptiles, snakes, lizards, turtles, tortoises away from their head so it doesn't hurt their scales. Yeah. Pretty cool. All right, do we have anything else to say?
No.
No? Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Jayden, let's all say bye.
Bye.
Please like, subscribe, and follow us, and we'll have more later. Jayden, you did awesome. Good job. I think he likes you. I think you like unicorns, too. He's about 4 feet long. Oh, watch your face. Now, even though he won't bite you, you still never want to put him by your face.
It's okay, Jay. You just got to be relaxed. Just be relaxed.
Even when he gets by my face, since you're holding him, you can move him where you want him to go, as long as you don't squeeze him.
That's it. Be nice and gentle. Keep his head up.